Basically, Science Olympiad is a competition where a team of students compete in 23 or so different events. Now, each student is only going to do one or two events, maybe three. Four is the absolute max because they can't be in two places at once. So four is the absolute max. Three is pushing it. Most people do one or two. We may push people into a third one just to kind of fill a gap and get participation points in that event. But just like a U.S. Olympics team goes to the Olympics, and some of them are skiers, and some of them are skaters, and some of them are gymnastics. Well, same thing here, but instead of sports, we're STEM events. So I need students who can build, and students who can design, and students who can research and study. So there's many kinds of events, all right? And there's a place for just about everyone, as long as they're willing to put in the work and the effort, okay? So traditionally, there are about 24 high school teams. Now, some of those are high school varsity teams that compete for state. And then a lot of schools bring 1 to 3 extra junior varsity teams. They don't help the school get to state, but they do help get experience for those team members. And then those junior varsity team members become part of the varsity team. This is a competition, it is not a club. There's a form, it looks like this, okay? This gives you an overview of what Science Olympiad is. There's some information here that just helps me know how to place students, like what kind of events they want. On the back, we have Division B and Division C. Division B is middle school. Division C is high school. So depending on where you are, those are the events you would want to look at. I'll put a QR code here that you can scan if you wish to find a digital copy of that. Otherwise, you can see Mr. Furlow in high school, that's me, or Mrs. Furlow in middle school. We have some forms. Please have those forms turned in by September 15th. And then please pay your dues by the 30th, September 30th, in K-12 payment. It is a $65 fee because it's $300 to register a team. So we also get these snazzy hoodies made each year, all right? This design was done by one of our graduating seniors last year. It's an atom with the CIS logo in the middle, and the electrons are comets because we're the comets. Reading glasses not included. Those weekly meetings I mentioned, they are once a week and about an hour. That is not enough time. Every Tuesday between now and the competition in March is not enough time to prepare for these events. Something like bridge or tower, you have to build a balsa wood bridge, test how much weight it can hold. Then you have to read it. You take that data, redesign, rebuild, retest, and repeat the process. Okay? So you're not going to build one bridge, and you certainly can't build it the night before. All right? So we have to work outside of school as well as that weekly meeting. The weekly meeting is mainly so that students can talk with their partner, because they have a partner for these events. But they can also check in with the coaches, like myself. So there are 4 basic kinds of events: construction events, knowledge-based events, laboratory events, and some that are kind of a combination of the two. Construction events, you have to build something ahead of time, bring it to the competition, and compete with it, like the bridge I mentioned, or sometimes you had to build a trebuchet or a catapult. Knowledge-based events are something like disease detectives, where you have to research different diseases and come with prepared knowledge as well as your actual knowledge. If you have to look up every answer in a notebook, you're not going to finish in time and you're going to score low. So you need to be prepared beyond just having a notebook. Laboratory events, you have to do a lab. All right, forensics, there's some materials testing, like you test whether or not something will dissolve, or you might do a flame test. Okay. And the rules are the most important thing. After Coach's Clinic, we will have the Science Olympiad rules for the events that are happening this year. And it will be very important that the students and parents and coaches read those rules, okay? Because there are very small details. If you're making a plane and your wing is too long, you could be disqualified. If it's too short, you could be disqualified. And so you have to make sure that your dimensions, your requirements are met. I hope this answers your questions. If you have more, please email me. I'll put an email here. And thank you for considering Science Olympiad.